So I'm here today, I've got TrackMan on. I'm going to hit a few shots and we're going to look at the way the ball is moving in the air, the way it's spinning. So what's happening to make that spin take the ball off direction. So most golfers hit the ball with a degree of spin, hopefully it's only backspin, but there's always going to be an element of what we understand as side spin. TrackMan's going to read that as spin axis. It's the side spin or the degree of spin axis which is really going to move the ball offline, and which is what most golfers are finding when they hit their shots. They put lots of spin on, and that's what's losing it in the different directions. So I'm going to hit a few shots and I'm going to show you what I do to influence the way the ball spins, and then hopefully you can take that away to your games and relate that back in. So changing my grip, changing my setup, and obviously if you're doing these things not on purpose like I'm going to do, then you're going to have to think about trying to change a few aspects of your swing. So I'm going to do a shot to start. The idea with this shot, hence, is that it has not much spin axis on it. So the optimum, as TrackMan would read it, would be 0. So the closest you get to 0, the better. So let's just hit a shot and see what happens. Okay, so that's not a bad shot, flying pretty straight through the air.
Spin axis 2.6 degrees.
Okay, so the spin axis on that shot is 2.6. Now for me, anything under 4 is good, anything under 3 is great, anything under 2 is fantastic. 2.6 spin axis, so that means the ball is spinning on a side axis of 2.6. It is going to affect it next to nothing. I mean, that ball just flew pretty straight through the air. So I'm just going to do another one. Again, what I'm trying to do is just hit the ball nice and square onto it to get as little to no spin axis as possible. Okay, so that one's gone a little left.
Spin axis minus 12.7 degrees.
So that one's gone into the minus. Minus meaning it's spinning this way, so it's drawing. It's gone minus 11 degrees on the spin axis, just drawn off to the left. I hit the ground slightly first and that one turned the club over. So that one's gone in the left-hand trap if I was playing. Let's do one more. Okay, it's a better shot. That won't have much on, hopefully.
Spin axis minus 2.5 degrees.
So minus 2.5. So as long as you're under a tolerance of around 3 or 4 minus or plus, you're going to be hitting the ball pretty straight. Now the second out of those 3 shots, the one went in the left-hand bunker, I misstruck the ball and it put a much bigger slice on the shot. I'm going to do a couple of other things now just to affect the spin axis. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to grip it and only show one knuckle on my left hand. What I'm also going to do is stand with my feet open, so pointing off to the left, and I'm also going to hit it off my front foot. So I've changed the way I'm standing to the ball. And let's just see what that does to the spin axis. Okay, so I've got a lot of movement from left to right on that shot.
Spin axis 18.7 degrees.
Okay, so it's 18.7 degrees in the plus figure. So basically that's what we're talking about when people start getting big amounts of slice off to the right kind of shots. Now this is a 6 iron. If I was to do that with a longer club like a driver, you'd probably see it spinning even heavier offline. And what I did there is I changed my grip to what we call a weak grip into the one knuckle. I opened my stance at the point to the left and I moved the ball forward in my stance. Now these are all things people will be doing out on the golf course every day, but not intentionally. So if you just look out for these basic fundamentals, you're going to calm your spin axis down and hit the ball much straighter. So I'm going to do another one for you. This time I'm going to show 4 knuckles on my left hand. I'm putting the ball back in my stance and I'm also going to close my stance, so aim off to the right. Let's try and hit a shot like this. Oh, pretty ugly.
Spin axis minus 40.1 degrees.
Okay, let me just look at that. Right, that spin axis there was minus 40.1 degrees. So by changing my grip, changing my stance, changing my ball position, I turned the way, I changed the way I hit the ball into a much more hooking kind of shot. So again, I'm going to go back more now just to check that I can still actually hit this ball. I'm going to go back the 2 to 3 knuckles on my left hand, back of the ball in the middle of my feet, aiming down the line I want to hit the ball. Okay, not a bad shot, it's quite straight.
Spin axis minus 0.1 degrees.
Okay, that's perfect. Minus 0.1, so that is almost optimum. 0, obviously meaning the ball's just not spinning on its side. So quite a simplistic way of thinking about spin, but lots of golfers when they're out there hitting their shots, they're not working out why they're getting the left or the right shots. You've got to be looking at your grip, your setup, your swing puff, your stance, trying to understand what's making the ball spin off to the right, spin off to the left. Any comments, post them below. More than happy to hear what you've got to say. Got any questions about your swing or about equipment, do give us an email or post a comment and I will try and respond.